Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. What's going on, yo? What's up? What's up? Let me get a one in the chat if you guys can hear me, and we're gonna start. So, I originally just started off with the one link um in the description box. Shout out to Phil from the Advice Show. Phil's been doing his things for years now. And Phil shows a video. I still don't got a one. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Maybe, maybe not. Um, Phil reviewed a video of a young lady, black young lady, who was sleeping out of her car, right, living in her car. Um, and this young lady, I don't know what's going on, but we already know for the most part for black people, especially for black women, young women, family and friends don't let them live in their car. So you have to ask yourself, what's going on with this young lady? Where her friends and family, her man, yeah. He says shout out to CP time, color people time. Yeah, but you have to ask yourself what is going on where this young lady is, living out of her car. What is going on with mother and father and maybe older younger siblings and aunts and uncles and grandparents that causes her to live out of her car. And she simply says, she doesn't earn enough from her job. And that's where we come in. You know, we've been hearing for a long time, black men have been hearing, and shout out to Passport OG for playing that clip from that show from what, the 80s, where the boomers were looking at the extra women coming of age and saying, yeah, that's gonna be the generation. And Mr. Z's ears, what I heard was, oh, that's gonna be the generation that really get to practice negative liberty. They really ain't gonna have to deal with what black men gotta say. They really gonna be able to stick the middle finger up at black men. Well, yeah. Lisa Ray and Vivica A. Fox and I don't know, Claudia Jordan. I don't to that boomer lady, to that boomer black lady that was on that talk show. I don't know. Extra women looking they looking kind of shaky right now, right? Thank you, Toya. And Toya says, if y'all didn't watch the links first, go do it because it's going to put a lot of things into perspective, right? And I want to link what I'm saying about neoliberalism, once again, a market-based valuation of everything, right? In the era that we're living in, right? I think a lot of people, yeah, like, it as neoliberalism ends, there is a very unique window in time that certain Xers, definitely baby boomers, got to participate in about being hyper individualistic and hyper materialistic, finding your value and other people's value off of the products they can afford to consume. And that era is coming to an end. And you're watching as economists, right, and social designers and critiquers speak to that, right? That's why I put Dr. Richard Wolff up there. And as this era comes to an end, there's a whole lot of things that we enjoy doing. When I say we, I mean black women and negative liberty, that your average woman is not going to be able to participate like that anymore. I'm not speaking about the Ebony K. Williams. That's a whole different issue. She could financially afford to give black men the middle finger, but her psyche, that's a different conversation. Melissa Ford, same thing, right? They can afford to give Chrissy, Real Talk with Yanni, right? They can afford it financially. That psyche, though, that's a different conversation. But for your average black woman, oh no. Now, they can't afford it. Black women, it's over. You could pout, you could throw your temper tantrum, but you can't fight $412,000 average home prices. Sorry, you can't fight it. You can't fight $50,000 average car new car prices. 750. I'm sorry. Yeah, $750 monthly car payments on average. That's new cars. What about used cars, Z? $600 on average. $2,200 as of last year, 2023, mortgage payments. You can't fight it. All that I could do bad all by myself, yeah, you're going to do bad. Your framing is off. Yeah, you're going to do bad. You're absolutely right. Right? What's those Starbucks coffees going for? 8 and 12 and $15? You can't fight it. Black women, you can't fight it. All that talk about struggle love, no, you will be struggling by yourself, loving on yourself, making love to yourself. Right? And Toya says, wait, so a degree isn't a voucher? For a hot 2 seconds, it was, Toya. For a hot 2 seconds, if you were a black woman and you had a degree, a college degree, God forbid, an advanced degree, yeah, you could give black men the middle finger and own your own home. Y'all give Mr. Z 1 second. And we're back. Thank you, Toya. Right, right. Hit the like button, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. So yeah, so there was and going back to what Toya was saying, right? And for those of you that are just coming in, Toya said, "Wait, so a degree isn't a voucher?" For a couple minutes, it was for black women. If you had a college degree, a university degree, and you were at the right place at the right time, and the right white people took a liking to you, yeah, you could afford to give black men the middle finger, and maybe hit the lottery and end up with a solidly middle class white dude. Uh-oh. Maybe, God willing, cross fingers, knock on wood, maybe even an upper middle class white dude. There was a couple minutes where that was possible for real. But could black women have gone on their own and maintain and own a home? Maybe never get married, maybe never have children, or have children but never get married and own a home? Maybe even pay off that home? Yes. Are we there anymore for the majority of black women? Absolutely not. Even for a sizable minority of black women? Probably not. Not with a wealth of $5, right? The window of neoliberalism is closing. And there's a whole lot of things that people thought was the new normal when really it was a luxury. That's also going to end with that closing of neoliberalism. You know, when Dr. Richard Wolff speaks about what do you call economic nationalism, that means consolidation, right? Consolidating resources, bringing all of that back home, a lot of that manufacturing back home. Now, technology allows for that, which is going to allow for the corporations and the manufacturers to do these things cheaply. But what does that mean for everyday people in their everyday life? That means family. That means consolidating resources within family. Ooh, that means maybe having a man there. Uh-oh. Maybe thinking about living with family. Uh-oh, ugh, that ain't something we've done in about 40, 50 years. Ugh, right? For those of you that recall, I was speaking about this. I spoke about this a couple months ago, but then I spoke about it even further back about single family homes and how maybe this is changing. That window about, that window where every family or group of people have their own thing, which is, if there's a man in the house, wife, husband, kids, one home, wife, husband, kids, other home, right? Your parents have their own home. If your grandparents are still alive, they have their own home. Your siblings have their own home with their kids. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not going to say that window is closed all the way, but some of us might have to think about this a little different. Black women, that struggle love thing, speaking from your ego, it sound nice. See, Yanni could speak about what's the incentive. Yanni could say that. Chrissy could mock 50-50 relationships, right? And speak about struggle love and make fun of your everyday average black woman. Chrissy can do that, right? Ebony K. Williams can tell you she don't gotta wait for none of these loser black men and etc. And call black men mediocre. Ebony K. Williams can do that and speak about her $1.7 million property. Ebony K. Williams can afford to do that. Huh? Lauren, most likely, that's the young lady that Ebony K. Williams was speaking to on the Breakfast Club, can try to hold off until she damn near 40. Because the track that she's on, most likely financially, she can maybe afford to do that. All of you other black women, you $36,000 a year on average earning black women, yeah. And that's for 40-hour work weeks. Let's be very clear. You cannot afford to do that. Median household income, $74,000 a year. Average home price in 2023, $412,000. Black women's median wealth, $5. New car monthly payment on average, $750. Average mortgage in 2023, $2,200 a month. Average used car monthly payment in 2023, about $600. Black women. That's you millennials and you Gen Z as you come of age more and more. Even some of you younger Xers. Yeah, it's done. It's done. You could throw the temper tantrum all you want. You will be throwing that temper tantrum in your parents' home. Right? I hear all of these people talking about young men staying at home with their parents more than young women. Yeah, because those young women ducked off and got them an older dude. Uh-oh. Some, what did Black Ooze say? Somebody's gonna pay for these O's, right? Some dude is subsidizing her. Huh. Black women, your negative liberty has a cost. There's a cost to throwing a temper tantrum. There's a cost to giving black men the middle finger. There's a cost to the disrespect of black men. There is a cost. Kim Foster is not going to tell you the cost. Chrissy is not going to tell you the cost. Yanni is not going to tell you the cost. Ebony K. Williams is not going to tell you the cost. Maybe, you never know. Excuse me. There is a cost to giving black men the middle finger. You better believe it, right? There's a cost. Huh. From my understanding, something like a third of car payments are about $1,000 a month. About a third of them, huh? Yeah, there's a cost. There is a cost to the negative liberty, ladies. And as neoliberalism closes and the upper middle class, as I said before, turns that wealth gap into a chasm more and more, mainly upper middle class white folks, and the market starts to follow them more and more, and the price points of things will be set at what they can afford, what they can afford, excuse me. Let's say that again. The price point of things will be set at what upper middle class people can afford. Huh? Black women, where does that put you? Huh? Where does that put you? And Lithium says, Mr. S, via cushy jobs from DEI and affirmative action AA, that should have gone in equal measure to black men. Here's the problem. The Republicans are trying to shred all of that. That's going to hurt you too, black women, because you are the face of that. Huh? Let's see if schemy, scammy ass white liberals and their, funders can subsidize you to make up for white conservatives tearing down the platform you stand on. Let's see. As white conservatives and white liberals wage their culture war against each other, right? And the Blums of the world, what's his name? Edward Blum? Try to shred everything that black women stand on. And then on the other side are people like the white woman that gave the $100 million to Spelman, or Goldman Sachs with the $10 billion for black women in their situation. Let's see. Huh? As the DeSantis and the Rufos go after black people, that includes you, black women. Huh? So are we supposed to say that $10 billion from Goldman Sachs and $100 million to one university, that's supposed to float black women? I don't know. Let's say a couple of other NGOs and think tanks and whatever banks are donating 5 billion here, 100 million there. Is that supposed to float black women? What is going to turn that $5 wealth into what, $10 wealth, $15 wealth? In comparison to white women's $42,000 worth, and that was 5 years ago. That 42 is probably more like 50 now. Huh? This young lady is homeless at a young age. We've seen this before, Tanya TKO. We've seen this before, Sunsere. Huh? And then they come out super anti-black. Man, wait a minute. You didn't get down with a black man's program. You went and did your own thing. Sunsere, her YouTube channel be in and out, but okay, she making a couple dollars. Tanya TKO, she making some good money off of YouTube. Okay, fine. Didn't get down with a black man's program. Ended up living in your car. Start to make some money off of YouTube. Talking crap about black men. Not the white racist society, nope. Not the white racist employers, nope. Not the white racist banks, nope. Not the environment, nope. Not non-black people, nope. But to black men, huh? The angst, the anger, the resentment, the sexist, misandrist rhetoric, all towards black men, huh? Wow. Now, when you look at that, right? All towards black men. But of course, right? But black women, what did you think the cost of divorcing black men within 5 years would be? Wealth of $5. What did you think your negative liberty? You didn't think your negative liberty would cost you anything? You didn't think giving the middle finger, oh, because you think black men are that bummy and that much losers and that dusty that it wouldn't cost you anything to give them the middle finger. Actually, you would be doing better without them. Huh. Wealth of $5. Fastest growing eviction rate. Huh. It comes at a cost. As Phil was saying, when you look at these videos of black women getting evicted, you don't see black men because they're not in relationships. I'm not going to say you never. I will say you rarely. Yeah. Because not even are they not married, they're not even in relationships. They might have kids, they might not, but yeah. No man at that apartment, no man at that home. How horrible is your life going when you're getting kicked out of Section 8? You can't afford the Section 8. Because you just refuse to get down on a black man's program. Get down with the black man's program. Your negative liberty, your anti-black misandry is so great you would rather starve and be homeless. Well, so be it. Huh? You would rather be living off of your parents or still living in your parents' home. Huh? Living with a roommate. Huh? Engaging in same-sex loving relationships. Huh? Groveling and begging and chasing non-black men, white men. Huh? All of that just to not get down on a black man with a black man's program. Right? Huh. This young lady is homeless at a young age. I'm repeating it over and over again because she's young. You can see it in her face. Speaking about her employer doesn't pay enough. You're supposed to be building with a young black man. Y'all supposed to have a little rinky-dink apartment, barely making it, but you know what you wouldn't be doing? You wouldn't be living in your car. Yes, y'all supposed to have, wait for it, struggle love in the beginning. Yes, you're supposed to be, see, and that's what happens when you listen to Chrissy. That's exactly what happens when you listen to Chrissy. That's exactly what happens when you listen to Yanni. That's exactly what happens when you listen to Paris, when you listen to Mahogany Pink, when you listen to Lexus Exodus, when you listen to Cynthia G, when you listen to Shira 7. That's exactly what happens. Huh? No struggle love. Well, fine. Struggle by yourself, sleeping in your car. This is what happens when you refuse to work with a young black man. Maybe your same age, maybe a couple years older. And y'all go from having one car, y'all share a little hoopty, to in a little apartment, or maybe y'all both got y'all own car, and y'all live in an apartment that's not that great, or you live with his parents with him, or he live with you and your parents, and y'all slowly climb out. He get a couple of promotions under his belt. You get a couple of promotions under your belt. Then y'all making some real money. Y'all get married, y'all have kids. But that sounds too much like struggle and work and effort and compromise and adherence and cooperation and considering what another person train tracks, what another person thinks. Wait, not just another person, a black man. Oh boy, sacrilege. Consider what a black man thinks and how he feels. Ooh, feels. Ooh, a black man and his feelings. Well, we can't do that. Right? Our sage, Chrissy, told us we can't do that. Our sage, Yanni, said we can't do that. Our sage, Kristlyn Karazin, said we can't do that. Right? Our sage, Paris Malone, said we can't do that. Cynthia G said she wanted to see the end of the black community. Yeah, she's trying to destroy the black community. Right? Right? Oh, wow. So what about all the homeless black men, Z? Nobody care about that. Y'all don't care about that. Don't even bring it up in an argument. Next. There's more homeless black men than black women. Y'all don't care about it. Don't even bring it up in an argument. And there you go. My answer. Huh? And let's be very clear. Y'all ain't trying to end up with those dudes no way. How do you know that, Z? Because y'all ain't ended up with the dudes that do have a home, goddamn, and a job, goddamn. There's a cost. Dear black women, there's a cost. Neoliberalism is ending. Do you know what that means for you? Automation is coming for everybody's job. Do you know what that means for you? Right? Maybe y'all don't get it. Wait, y'all don't. And even if you did, you would probably still attempt to stick the middle finger at black men. There's a cost to that. There's a cost to that. Right? There's a cost to that. You're going to live the cost to that. Dear black women, there is a cost to your negative liberty, to your anti-black male sentiments, misandry. Phil covered this young lady living out of her car, young age. And that's a real question I posed at the beginning. Where's her family? What, are you living out of state, or what's going on? What your parents passed at an early age? Like, you don't have any next of kin? What's going on here? Because the world that Z's from, you got to be next level insufferable as a black young woman to be living out of your car. Like, it got to be something. There's something up there. No friends, no one. As a young black woman, first of all, as a black woman, but a young one on top of that, you're not an aunt's house, or uncle's house, a cousin's apartment, nothing. And you're talking about not earning enough? No one earns enough in the beginning. That's why you're supposed to be partnered to a black man. That's why you're supposed to be in a relationship with a black man. No one earns enough in the beginning. right? This system has caused y'all to truly be delusional, absolutely delusional, and we can see it, right? Your neoliberal, commodified assessment of black men, well, this really puts a different meaning because we know what y'all mean by I could do better by myself. Yeah, we know what you mean, but no, you're really actually doing bad by yourself. Worth the $5. You're really doing bad by yourself. This is not the era of hyper individuality anymore. It's over, black women. It's done. On the other side of the equal sign, my title is this. Chrissy and Kim Foster, they didn't tell you about this, not did they? Huh? Because Kim Foster can't afford to be single financially. Her psyche, on the other hand, Chrissy, Yanni, financially. Now y'all hear Yanni. Yeah, decenter men. Yanni out of there. Her psyche, gone. What's the incentive? Well, this is it. Your sanity. This is it. Not being homeless. What's the incentive? How about being able to eat? What's the incentive? How about not sleeping in your car? That's the incentive, Miss Yanni. That's the incentive. You financially are okay. Your subscribers, on the other hand, what's the incentive? I want to be a kept woman of leisure. Dear Yanni, most women will never, ever, ever, ever have that. Ever. But you know what they can have? A roof over their head. Right? You know what they can have? Some food. You know what they can have? A working, operating vehicle to get to and from work, to and from the store, to and from picking the kids up from school. What's the incentive? Huh? All that. If I can't have this, I don't want anything. Temper tantrum like a 7-year-old. Sounds nice. All you women living vicariously through Ebony K. Williams, it sounds nice. All you sisters living vicariously through Kim Foster, sounds nice. Living vicariously through Yanni, sounds nice. Living vicariously through Paris. Wait a minute, Paris is married. Uh-oh. Even you same-sex loving sisters, living vicariously through Princella, sounds nice. And her little same-sex loving harem she's trying to create over there, sounds nice. What's that DV rate for same-sex loving black women again? Oops. Huh? All of that sounds nice. Alexa, play Thanos for me again. Couldn't deal with your failures, and it led you back to me. You can't run from black men, black women. Decades of your slander and your misandry, you cannot run from us. You can't run from your blackness. Throwing black men under the bus for decades, insulting black men for decades, belittling black men for decades. You cannot run from black men. You cannot run from your blackness, black women. groveling at the feet of white folks for decades. You cannot run from black men, black women. Shout out to the Roger Report. We said it. Black women, where you think you going? Right? Black women, where do you think you going? Right? If non-black folks were so open to you, you would have been gone. The reason you ain't gone is because they ain't accepting you. We know. Right? All that temper tantrum and all that talk, yawn. All that talk about colorism. I want to be treated like the white women and the light-skinned women and the exotical. Shut up, Chrissy. It's not fair. Why do they get to end up with the NBA players and the NFL players? I want it too. Right? Why can't I be with the rich black man that I don't actually value also? I want to have a shot at marrying a rich black man and then divorcing him and taking half. Notice y'all ain't never hear Chrissy talk about love. Milton Freeman over there don't know what that is. And remember, you're speaking about the same woman that says she don't have a problem with being objectified. She don't have a problem with objectification. Of course she doesn't, because she objectifies men as nothing but walking wallets. She understands the trade. One thing you got to give her, she know the trade. I'm objectified for my body. I objectify them for their resources. Ain't that right, Chrissy? Huh? I said it before. Dear black women, straight black men aren't looking for chocolate dip XX chromosome white men. We're not looking to marry Milton Freeman and Frederick Hayek. Sorry. All right. Black women think they leave. Where are you going? Black women think they leaving. Where are you going? Wow. D. Scott said, let them run. Run into what? Wait for it. The wall. Right. Compassionate said, thanks for my next short, Z. Welcome. I want to see where you go with this. Toya said we going to the Cheesecake Factory. And you better smile when you're there too. Right? Yeah, I'm telling you, it was hysterical. That same week of the whole Cheesecake Factory debacle, I took my girl, her mom, and my mom to the Cheesecake Factory. Right? I was like, hey, I want to take y'all out. We going to the Cheesecake Factory. It was some good food. And we all got cheesecakes afterward. Right? My girl's mom asking, oh, is there a limit on the... Miss, you can have get whatever y'all want. And that was a great feeling. It was a great feeling saying that. And I'll be damned if I listen to somebody like Chrissy. Shut the hell up. Right? Talking about the Cheesecake Factory isn't up to par. If y'all don't shut the hell up, you want to be upper middle class and rich white women? If I give you the money and put you in the environment, they still gonna treat you like you just the N-word. Hell y'all talking about? If I gave you the money, Chrissy, and put you in their environments, you will still be the help. If you don't believe me, go ask Oprah. All this defecating on working class black men. All this calling them mediocre. Mediocre black men are married, Ebony K. Williams. God damn. And happy. And their wives are happy too. Look at that. You're closing on $1.7 million property and you're single. With your test tube baby having ass. Oh, wait, you still don't got the baby yet. Huh? Hell y'all talking about? Talking about your mom would slap you if you ended up with a bus driver because you're supposed to be doing better than that. She should be slapping you for still being single at 40. What's the point of having the money and the status with no family? Because your ego won't let you end up with a man that's actually on your real marketplace value. Ooh. Talk about ego hurt. Huh? It's just, you know, you see this young lady sleeping in her car, you know, I'm listening to Phil speak about that climb up, and I'm just saying to him, Phil, no, these women, we gotta let them starve. We gotta let them feel the full brunt of the consequences of their worldview, of their actions, of their rhetoric, and be prepared because brothers like Dr. Umar Johnson are gonna try to shame y'all into saving these women. Absolutely not. I want to be very clear. If Dr. Umar Johnson ever falls onto this video, I know he's not, but still, no. Black women don't get to curse black men out. Give black men the middle finger. Practice negative liberty. Use sexist, misandrous rhetoric. Throw black men under the bus in front of white folks. Compare black men to the omniscient, omnipotent white man. And then black men still save them afterward? Hell no. Nope. We're supposed to watch women like Yenny. Yenny, like I said, financially she could afford it. We're supposed to watch women like Yenny that's only earning $40,000 a year, $35,000 a year, $30,000 a year, $45,000, $50,000 a year. Tell us what's the incentive? Dear Dr. Umar Johnson, black women are supposed to speak like that. Black women that are earning $35,000 a year living vicariously through Ebony K. Williams, calling black men mediocre. We're supposed to watch as mediocre black women call black men mediocre as a pejorative, and then we're still supposed to save them? Hell no. Absolutely not. Nope. You can marry them all, Dr. Umar Johnson. You want to hear them? You can have them. Marry all of them. Whatever you can't have, pass them on to the white man. Right? Huh? We're supposed to watch as y'all still ain't tell Lauren yet. Listen, as you get older, that value decrease, and it's not dependent on your own feelings and your ego, lady. I feel that as I get older, my value increases. That's not how it works. You imagine a man telling a woman, hey, I'm going to tell you how you should value me. We all know how dumb that sounds. Right? We all know how dumb that sounds. When you say it that way, everybody understands it. But women get to tell men what their value is to men? Absolutely not. Right? lines and we ran our lifeboats. I said it again. I'm gonna have to make a separate stream about this. Make a better product, Dr. Umar Johnson. Make a better product. Make a better. Black men ain't doing this no more. Y'all better make a better product, right? Black men ain't doing this no more. Shout out to BJS. I checked out that stream with all them disrespectful ass women. Yeah, we ain't doing that no more. That's done. That is done. So yeah, it's gonna start off with the black manosphere, and it's gonna slowly get larger. Black men ain't doing this no more with y'all. Where black women get to be these mean, snarky, sexist. Say it again, sexist. Say it one more again, sexist, misandrist. Lying on black men, never apologizing, cheering on little sexist black women all across the media, all across social media, being sunned by Simone Sanders and what's her name off of MSNBC again? Tiffany Cross. Absolutely not. And then we supposed to marry them? Yeah, that's it. And what would that marriage do exactly when they're divorcing black men within 5 years? Okay, fine, Dr. Umar Johnson. Okay, fine, we do marry them, and they divorce us within 5 years. What? Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Amov says, what did Dr. Umar say? No, it's not anything he said recently that I saw. I'm just bringing him up in this conversation because it's always on black men. And when you see this young lady that's homeless, see, they took for granted, I made a video about this, right? They took for granted, they call it status quoism, that this is the status quo. These people really fail to understand history. All of this stuff y'all see is new. All of these buildings, all of these cars, the roads, all this is new. Even the luxury you have to be single the way you are for as long as you are is new. Right? All that's new, which means it can go away. Right? That negative liberty that you're able to practice, the way you're able to practice it, that's new. And that's for young people in general. Being able to be single this long, and especially if you're on your own and being single this long, that's new. Especially for women, that's new. That's something you can't pull even 40 years ago. 50 years ago, you definitely couldn't pull that. Right? It's the status quoism of it all. Do y'all understand how reckless it is for black women in America? And shout out to Trell Bentley. He tried to correct me, and I saw the comment at him, and I was actually like, "What is he talking about?" When I mentioned Trick Daddy's song America, I said 2Ks. I know it's 3Ks. I don't know why I said 2Ks. And Trell in the comment said 3Ks, and I saw the comment maybe a minute or two afterward, and I was like, "What is Trell talking about?" So my apologies, Trell. Right? I was referencing a Trick Daddy song last stream, or I think the stream before that, right? But yeah, status quoism. And black women have just taken it for granted way too much that you can afford to be single indefinitely. right? That window might be closing. It probably is. For your average black woman, it probably is. Yeah, that sounds nice, and this is true, Jake. This is really how they say it. Jake says, "I'd rather be sick, homeless than be under a dusty philosophy." Yeah, they could talk all that talk. That sounds nice. And Lion says, "Let Enrique off the board and marry them." And you know what Enrique's gonna do if they get disrespectful with him. You see how they handle their women over there, huh? I told y'all what we call it in South Florida. For the Cubans, we call it Hialeah divorce. Look up Hialeah divorce and see how those Latino dudes handle those women. All right, I ain't even gonna say. Y'all know how that ends up. Coffin, right? Huh? It sounds nice, and I want to make this very clear. This is not black men in the black manosphere, and definitely not Z begging. I'm telling, I'm telling you how it is. I want to be very clear. Y'all mocked Kevin when he said winter is coming. It was not a threat. It was an accurate observation. It was not a threat. Huh? And Lion says, no, Enrique don't have to take it there. He'll just finesse them. Oh, of course he's gonna finesse them. But let's be very clear. Them Latino dudes that hey, all right. All that talk about femicide sounds nice. You ain't seen nothing yet. Yeah, these other cultures, y'all don't understand, man. These other people from these other cultures, Indians, some of the Latino groups, they play a different type of game in these relationships, right? You keep on comparing black men to these people. All right, look at the young black lady that was married to the Indian dude that sell hair. She sell hair, right? That means she making some good money. She got her social media account. She making good money off of social media, and she sell hair. Buddy Road divorced her but broke up with her through text. Not again a divorce, man. Y'all all right, right? All right. And I say all of this to say, on the other side of that equal sign, it won't be struggle love. It'd be struggle single. You say you could do better by yourself, we'll put that to the test. You say don't need no man, we'll put that to the test. What's the incentive? We're gonna put that to the test. I want to be a kept woman of leisure. Translation: if I can't be a kept woman of leisure, I don't want anything. We're gonna put that to the test. How are black men going to put that to the test, Z? Simply by being indifferent. That's all it's going to take. Simply by being indifferent. Indifference means everything from not even approaching black women to not helping black women to not assisting black women to not advocating for black women. Is this going to be all black men? No. Is it going to be a majority? Not even. A critical mass. That's all you need, right? A critical mass. Mass and mask. A critical mass. That's all you need. I want to say this again to Dr. Umar Johnson. Produce a better product. I want to say this once again to all the black women under the sound of my voice. Produce a better product. Until you produce a better product, you will continue to get this. Be in the concubine class for non-black men, thinking you're better than your black male cohorts. I said cohorts. Cohort, dating them, being in a relationship with them for a little while, breaking up with them for little minor things, being married to them, divorcing them within 5 years, and struggling. And your pride and your ego won't let you admit it in public, but you will be struggling. Dear average black women, this is not a threat. You will be struggling. You will be struggling while foreign man in a foreign land blows smoke up your ass. And so does Conscious Lee. And so does FD Signifier. So does Professor Odie. So does Dr. Umar Johnson. So does Boyce Watkins. They will be blowing smoke up your ass. And you will be struggling. There is a cost to your negative liberty. And this young lady, we don't know. There could be something else going on with this. I wanted to use this to expound upon how other women, other black women, end up in this position, because we don't know. There's something up with this story. Especially for how young she is. I don't know, right? Because it's weird. I wonder if she has a next of kin, or something's not right about this story. For her to be living out of her car, either her family lives in one place and she's off, just graduated from college, and she's off far away, and she's trying to make something work, and she's being stubborn. Something's not right about this story all the way, right? And KMS says, thank you for the super chat. Train tracks, train tracks, train tracks. Life is telling black women the coming to America slumlord voice, your rent is due, your rent is due, MF. Just as they have defaulted on any justifiable goodwill they could request from black men. Cue DJ Khaled, congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations, you've played yourself. Man. Juicy tries to tell him a little bit. Circus Ray even tried to tell him a little bit. Right? Shout out to Toya. Toya tried to tell him. Right? Right? Try to warn him. KMS, the people, there's a couple of women trying to warn them, right? Y'all got the same sex loving sister telling y'all, hey, it ain't what you think it is. Yvette Carnell trying to tell y'all, hey, I don't know. Huh? But y'all would much rather listen to Chrissy, because she's going to tell you it's black men's colorism. Yeah, that's it. She's going to mock the black women that are in 50-50 relationships financially. Y'all would much rather listen to Chrissy. Y'all would much rather listen to Paris. Y'all would much rather listen to Real Talk with Yanni. Huh? And Princella. Huh? Y'all would much rather listen to them than hear women that Mr. Z doesn't even always agree with tell you, I don't know. That single life is a hard way to go. Right? And better use is, I don't know about that, Z. I've had families put out a trifling family member. I knew one girl living out her, I think you out of her car, I think you meant to say, doing clothes at their mom's place on the weekend. Wow. Wow. As black young women. Ugh. Ugh. Right? And this is true, Lithium, and that's my point, right? Happens all the time to out of pocket men. I don't care if it happened to her. Conform or shut up, right? And let's be clear, like that's the situation, ain't it? How quick would your dad kick you out at 22, 23, 25? You going to college or you going to get your advanced degree, you're going to one of the colleges or university around the corner, so you living at home and you talking crazy and you're not contributing anything. How quick would your parents get you the hell up out of there? I told y'all, I have friends that are police officers. Some of these y'all raise these spoiled brat daughters that y'all can't control in their 20s. See, you quick to threaten to kick. I don't know why we got this so backwards when we say, oh, these women is kicking their daughters out at this age. And no, they're kicking everybody out. But that relationship with their daughters is so damn contentious. Oftentimes, because you raised a little spoiled brat. The little mean, snarky a-hole that you thought it was cute when she was younger, now you can't control it. Uh-oh. Huh? Now your daughters are embarrassing you in front of white folks by talking reckless to a black male judge with their husbands present. Right? But of course, and we could tie in because I just saw a accountable commentary link pop up. That video that accountable commentary did what last week or the week before about the two black women. One of them was very, very, very light skinned. She might even been Latina, but very light skinned. And then the black woman, they're over here stealing from Walmart, and the cop is arresting them in front of the little boy, right? Do you think both of those women, both of them were heavy set? Y'all think those women have men? Huh? Exactly, Jake. But Z, single women are happier than married women. Single women are fronting. We all know it. If y'all remember, and she actually did a video afterward, kind of a heavy set, light skinned black woman that called into Kevin Samuel's show one time. Some of y'all already know as Z is going. And she was maybe in her 40s. And she said she hung around with like 50-something-year-old black women. Her and Kevin had a pretty okay conversation. And she was saying that all of these women are single. She was trying not to end up like them. This is her friend circle. She's like in her 40s. Her friend circle was in their 50s, and they would go out to brunch together and go on cruises together. If I recall, I might be adding extra to it, but if I recall correctly, she was essentially calling Kevin to save her from herself because she didn't want to end up like them. And she was saying how they've resigned themselves to being single, but they front like they're okay with it. Anybody remember that conversation Kevin had with this lady once? Right? I want to say she was in her 40s, right? But of course, meanwhile, hordes and tons of videos on TikTok and on YouTube of white women and black women and some Latina women and even one or two Asian women, but mainly white and black women all over the place, speaking about how men aren't approaching them anymore and they're newly divorced and they try to get out there, or they've been divorced for a little while and they're going on these dates and it's not like it used to be, and what happened to chivalry and midnight. But of course, right? Until it says, "Oh my God, I never knew what JIT stand for." Yeah, it's a saying down here in Florida. It just means like kid, young, immature, right? We use it for everything from like like a kid, a child, young, immature. Like, yeah, yeah. Oh, see, Jake said it like, yeah. She was see Jake says it right here. She was calling her son Jit, juvenile in training, right? Because I remember, okay, yeah, accountable commentary was trying to figure out what she was trying to say, and I'm like, oh yeah, because he don't know Florida lingo. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying. And Toyo says, yeah, I knew that Z, but I didn't know it was juvenile in training. Yeah, right. And once again, KMS, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Right. And that ties to what we're saying. Look, if you just want to take it purely practical, no moral anything, no shaming, no any of that, just purely practical. We already know for every action, there's equal and opposite reaction, right? So if you're going to be single as an average or middle income earning black woman, there's going to be a cost to that on the other side of that equal sign. Well, right? And y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Give Mr. Z 1 minute. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. But yeah, so, It was a bit heartbreaking seeing that young lady in the car. Like I said, there's something up with this story. Eh, something ain't right, right? Something ain't right. But yeah. So I said all of this to y'all to say there's going to be a cost. Um, we occupy the Black Manosphere. We are up on game. We are paying attention. Shout out to BGS. Shout out to yours truly, Mr. Z. Um, Art New Style. Um, all of us that kind of keep our ears. The Roger Report, Black Uru, right? All of us that keep a Rogish. Shout out to Rogish, right? Rogish is doing some good work on his channel. Edward Anderson, Charles, we keeping our ears open and paying attention to things outside of the Black Manosphere. We're paying attention to what's going on in the world. And we're coming back and telling y'all, hey, y'all prepare. Rainy days is coming, right? And I still want to do the stream on Friday. The Doomer stream, right? Rainy days are coming, right? A storm's a brewing, right? And what that means for you as an individual, what that means for your family and friends, what that means for Black people as a whole, right? Because y'all see these interest rates, from my understanding, might be slowing down, and how that's knocking people upside the head, right? What is this going to mean? And when you listen to the female content creators, especially the non-political ones, but even the political, Kim Foster ain't saying none of this. But once again, when you listen to the Black female content creators on that side, outside of like maybe Fab Socialism, there's a couple of them but their framing and what they're speaking about is more than just what's going on right now, right? But outside of that, maybe T Noir a little bit, kind of, sort of, Julesy, they're not. So they're none the wiser. They're none the wiser. They're just, for the ones that are honest about the struggle, they just blame it somehow on Black men, and because apparently we're not doing what we need to do. But yeah, right? These people are just not honest. First, they're not aware, to be honest. They're not aware enough. I'm talking about the average Black woman here. And why would they be, when the people that they listen to and the people that they admire and the people that they look up to, who's going to tell them? Who's going to tell them? Beyonce? Who? Right? Who's going to tell the average Black woman, like, all right now, who? While these people make fun of Simone Biles Owens, they're making fun of her. She's married to another successful Black person, and they're under the age of 30. Right? Absolutely insane. These people think they have a leg to stand on. Chrissy mocking 50-50 relationships. Yeah, and you talking about what's the incentive? As I said before, I was being funny, but I wasn't being funny. How about not sleeping in your car? Huh? What's the incentive? How about hoping not to be one of these 50-year-old, 55-year-old women recording yourself, maybe in your car or in you should have stayed with your husband. Talking about the dating scene has pee in it. You're in it, right? It would be one of these myopic, solipsistic ass women. Talking about the dating scene has pee in it. You're in the dating scene, ma'am. Right? So, young lady, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know enough. I used you in your situation as an avatar to speak about something a bit larger. But at your age, ish, probably, I'm guessing she looked under 27, under 26, right? She definitely looked under 30. So this is the cost. This is the cost, right? All of that negative liberty sound nice, right? So let's go through some numbers again. $74,000, your median household income as of last year. Average home price as of last year, 2023, was $412,000, right? Black women 5 years ago had a wealth of $5. We don't know what that looked like now, but I'm pretty sure it didn't go up. New car price, or excuse me, new car monthly payment, $750, right? Used car price, I said again, used car monthly payment, $600 on average. Average monthly mortgage. Of course, Mr. Z got kicked out of his own stream. I'm back. I'm back. Right. I'm back. Right. And I can't even look. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I can barely see. What happened to all my comments? My comments is gone. Of course they are. Right. Man. Okay, that happened. That just happened. Wow. Now I'm back, you guys. I'm back. Better you said Big Shirley got him. Right. I can only see the first few comments. That's crazy. Wow. Yeah. Anyway. That just happened. Wow. John Jones says, just tapping in. Just tapping in. Excuse me. I just left class. John Jones, I'm about to close out. He said, Matt, I'm late. Right. But, John Jones, check out the links in the description box. None of them are too long. They're not too lengthy. Giggity. Yeah, you should be able to get through all of them within 30 or so minutes. And then, then come back to this, right? Come back to this. And yeah, because the window of neoliberalism is closing. I really, I when I do that stream on Friday, I would love for y'all to come up, whoever wants to come up, and we could talk about what that's going to mean, especially Sauchi and Better You, BGS, yeah. Because I just think that's a different economic order. I don't, but to tell you the truth, I don't think the technocrats actually know what's next. That's the thing. I think we know the end of neoliberalism is either near or it's happening now, but I don't think they know where we transition after this, because those were the two competing, right, under capitalism ideologies. You had Keynesianism on one side, and then you had Frederick Hayek on the other side, right? Maynard Keynes on one side. I forgot his first name. I think Maynard was the middle name, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, and then you had Keynesianism on one side, and then Frederick Hayek on the other side. And obviously, Keynesianism is everything up until about midway through Carter, right? So this is World War II. Well, into World War II up until midway through Carter, and then neoliberalism is like halfway through Carter up until what we got now. And like Donald Trump kind of took an axe to all of that, or a hammer to all of that. And yeah, I don't think they really know what's coming after this, but it ain't looking good. Oh, wait a minute. And Jake says, I commented earlier, Z, this is a safety hazard. If a large number of people find out women are living alone, Panic Room Part 2, no Jodie Foster, hysterical. Yeah, 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 I agree. Right. Better you said, bro. America been on autopilot for a while now. Yeah, we're gonna see how this is. Yeah, that's what. But on Friday, if you whoever want to come up, right? So, okay, you guys. I actually have something else I want to review maybe tomorrow. But no, this is serious. Seeing this young lady homeless, and once again, we don't really know to what degree and what's going on, but this is definitely something that we can use to have a larger conversation about the cost of negative liberty and what's on the other side of that equal sign, right? What's on the other side of giving black men the middle finger? Not your for black women that financially can afford it. The Ebony K. Williams of the world, yeah, that's gonna take a hit to their psyche, right? If Kim Foster was still single, yeah, that would take a hit to her psyche. Yeah, she already gone anyway. But Chrissy, real talk with Yanny, right? Yeah, that might take a hit to their psyche, but financially they would be okay. But your average woman in America, not even just black woman, your average woman in America cannot afford to be single, let alone your average black woman. Financially, they can't afford it. And this young lady is an exhibit of that, right? And what people often do is find little slick ways to make it through, right? We already know back in the day it was the little trick with cable, right? People running little scams and schemes with their car insurance, right? What people used to do and still maybe try to do with food stamps. There's little ways. There were little ways that people women would try to float, right? Why they telling black men they could do bad all by themselves? They really are doing bad though. Like literally doing bad. Oh, and Leon says, I sent you a video of a priest saying that the black community is a matriarchy. Oh, they finally admitting it though, right? Yep. Hmm. Exactly, Lithium. And Lithium says millennial Gen Z can't use those loopholes. Clinton gutted welfare in '96. Yeah, you know. And what does being a individual really mean in this era? Fine, if neoliberalism continued for another 2 decades, fine. But what would that mean? That would mean you just out here to be used up by the market and market forces. So that means wealthy white men, economists, right? So you're just here to buy products, buy things to make you feel better about yourself. You are at the whim and at the mercy of economists and the market. Ugh. Right? Shout out to all the women that say, I am the table. You're the table. Yeah, that's it. You're the table, attempting to fill yourself with expensive products to make up for being single or not having children or not feeling adequate enough because that same white man that you worship at the altar of told you to find your self-esteem and find your self-worth through some expensive bags. Ugh. And you see what I'm saying, Oliver? And Oliver says they're the buffet table. There's a double entendre somewhere in there, right? You're the table that white folks, rich white folks, feast at, and you eat like your goddamn table. Anyway. Better you sit, the table ain't got no legs. It can't stand on business. Right? John Jones send you a battery. Right? And black degradation is what the society uses as fuel to run on. Let's be very clear. That includes you, black women. Right? That includes you, black women. Black struggle is the fuel that a lot of this society uses to run on. That wealth of $5 didn't come from nowhere. That means that you gave the wealth to white women at the end of the civil rights movement. God damn, Z. Why you keep on reminding them of that? Because Chrissy, sorry, not Chrissy, sorry, Chrissy, not right now. Yanni was over here trying to cop pleas when Yanni was going in on civil rights leaders. Y'all forgot about that last year? Huh? And she was trying to mock black men. And she was saying, yeah, we aligned with them because y'all wasn't doing this and y'all wasn't doing that. And they took the wealth and ran. And now the average black woman, we're not talking about you, Yanni. We're talking about the black women you pretend like you care about. The average black woman has the wealth of $5. Look like you bet on the wrong horse. Huh? You aligned with white women and they took that money and still married the white man. Let's get that right. Black women, and white men devised this plan behind black men's back. White women and white men still got married. Oftentimes, more often than black women, if they did get married, stayed married to the white man. And that equated to $42,000 average white woman's wealth and $5 average black woman's wealth. Ain't looking good. Fine. Let's say black women got bamboozled. Not true all the way, but fine. I'll give that to black women. Let's say y'all did get bamboozled. Y'all got played. Fine. 50 some odd years ago, 60 years ago, excuse me, 50 some odd years ago, 60 years ago, y'all got played by white women. Fine. Let's say that was true. Huh? Let's say that was true. But we're in 2023, 2024, and Yanny and B. Simone are mocking civil rights leaders and insulting them. B. Simone is calling one of the greatest civil rights leaders ever, Martin Luther King, an N-word, and saying he's not a great man because he supposedly cheated on his wife. Huh. With all the neck rolling and attitude, like Martin Luther King cheated on her, lame ass. Well, huh? Huh. So even if we were to be insanely straitjacket level generous to black women in the past, explain your granddaughters though. Thank you. Allegedly, lithium, exactly. And Trail said it too, allegedly. Right? Because Coretta Scott King never confirmed that. She never corroborated that. Right? Oh yeah, I remember this. And Better Use says a crazy lady tried to burn down the MLK family home a little while back too. Right? Yeah, and Oliver said the same thing. One already tried to burn down his house. Huh. So even if we're insanely straitjacket level generous to black women of the past and they were bamboozled and they were tricked, well, explain your granddaughters who realize that that didn't work and they're still giving black men the middle finger. Now what? Explain the attorney who's the black female attorney who's married to a black male attorney and is disrespecting her black male attorney husband and the black judge male on camera. Huh? Oh, this is a good question. This is a good question. And thanks for the super chat. Excuse me. Thanks for the super chat, KMS. Hey, KMS is Z. What do you think happens if black women realize they backed the wrong horse? Not gonna give them the out of. Okay, there he goes. Because I didn't roll up the comment all the way. That's my bad. So let's start. Let's just read that over then. Z, what do you think happens if black women realize they backed the wrong horse? Parentheses. Not going to give them the out of saying they were bamboozled. Okay. Do they turn the same fury they dedicated to black men on their co-conspirators? That is a good question. Okay. One, I think they still blame black men. Sorry, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, KMS. I'm not gonna lie. I think they still blame black men. I think they still sound like Yanny. I think they still sound like, what choice do we have? Right? I think what you saw happen with black women and some black men with the Rhoda brick case situation, I think that's what they do. I think that we've spoiled the black community so much with anti-black misandry rhetoric. I don't think they know what to do other than do that. I think that's the default. Exactly, Calvin. That's what I'm saying. They still blame us. I don't think they know how to do anything else, to be honest with you, KMS. I think a handful of black women will be like, God, where do we go from here? God damn, where do we got to do something. And a tiny amount says black men, how can we make up for it? I think a handful of black women, even though we might have our issues with her, do the Michelle Alexander documentary type thing where they do the even though we have issues with how she was looking at her husband, well, ex-husband, second ex-husband now. Um, Tina Knowles Lawson and put out documentaries talking about black men aren't the worst thing in the world. They're not threats. They're human beings. I think a tiny, tiny amount of black women sound like that. I think a tiny amount of black women sound like um Monique when she speaks about her husband, right? We got our issues with her too, but sound like her. I think a tiny amount. I think a tiny, tiny, tiny amount, and we know that we're doing it for the Democratic Party, but still sound like Taraji P. Henson, Black Men We Need You, or sound like Carrie Hilson, right? A tiny amount, but the vast majority, especially of the women that inter- interact with us on social media or on mainstream media, I think most of them still sound like Simone Sanders, Tiffany Cross, um, um, Amanda Seals, Ebony K. Williams, Kim Foster, Khadijah, Imbo. Like I think the majority of the women still sound like that, whether it's on mainstream media, on social media, or everyday real life. Right? Yeah. What's going on, Rogish? I mentioned you earlier too. Exactly, Calvin. Double down on the BS. Right? Earth, exactly. They and that's why I used the word coward a stream or two ago. And Earth says more than that, they want it to be Jermaine's fault. That's why I called it a coward. It's coward stuff. I don't know where, there's a reason why there were so many black women in the Black Panther Party. Dear black women, you can't run from this. You can't intersectionality your way from this. You're a coward. Yes, black women, you're going to have to fight too. Oh, Z, you said that. I did. I don't know when they get off with this. It's gonna be black men, and you see black women protesting. Let's be honest, a lot of them black women be protesting for their own different things, right? Shout out to BLM, yawn. Um, but I don't know where a lot of these black women get off. Where like let black men handle it themselves. Hold your own nuts. Yeah, that sound nice until it's your son or nephew, huh? Yeah, that sound nice until you realize there's no black men in your firm. That's why the white folks talking to you the way they do. Ooh, Z, huh? There's no black men, definitely no straight black men in your office. That's why them white folks talk to you the way they do. Huh? So, to what KMS is asking, ooh, look, Z, you pronounced it the right way the first time. But to what KMS is asking, ooh, the second time, um, I do think a teeny tiny amount of black women would be like, oh boy. But the majority of them, especially the ones that we interact with on social media, yeah, they ain't budging. That wouldn't move the needle at all. At all. Right? And that's mainly because they, especially for the younger women, the ones that were really interacting with social media, they grew up in a window where this level of misandry is okay. You we grew up and there was a woman on social media, black women on social media talking about aborting black male babies. That's the era we're living in. We're living in the era where black women, not even a whole 70 years since these Jim Crow laws were being repealed, we literally have black women talking about no struggle love. Huh? And mocking and making fun of civil rights leaders, black male civil rights leaders, saying they did all of that just to get vagina from white women. No, it's both Trill. And Trill says the era, not era. No, we're in the era where they full of error, right? Right. I shouted you out earlier too, Trill. Um, I saw the comment and when I saw it, I didn't realize what you were saying when I was speaking about the Trick Daddy song America, and I said 2Ks instead of three, and you were like 3Ks. But I read it like a minute or two afterward, and I was like, "What is Trill talking about?" Right? And I actually know it's 3K. I don't know why I said 2Ks. I don't know why I said it. Yeah. Oh, you heard? Okay, okay, okay. You just weren't typing it earlier. Okay. John Joe says, "My excuse me, my ex said no struggle of and literally in grad school. Man, look, and that's why she your ex. As I said, John Joe, continue your life, do the best you can, live your life, enjoy your life, don't look back. And maybe, I'm not saying it's going to happen. And quite frankly, you won't, at that point, you won't care if it did or not. Maybe one day you'll hear it on the grapevine. Hey, such and such was asking about you. Yeah, she wondered how you were doing. She could be a whole married and wonder. She might be single. She might have kids. She might not have kids. Guess what? It won't matter. And if she hear back, oh yeah, no, he's doing good. He worked for the UN now, or yeah, he's attorney here, or he's judge there, or he's doctor here, or he's doing good in life. He's an analyst for these people. He worked behind the scenes for CNN over here, or he started his own business over there. Yeah, I'm telling you from experience, right? That no struggle love sounds nice. It's fake as hell. It's fake as hell. You imagine black people in America talking about no struggle love. Black women, y'all want to be upper middle class white women so bad. Oh, y'all want to be upper middle class and rich white women so bad. No struggle love. Y'all want to be upper middle class white women so bad. Y'all are talking out y'all ass. And y'all listening to women like Yanni and Paris and Chrissy mock normal relationships in America. Once again, median household income $74,000. They didn't say only for black people. All the six-figure talk. 1/3 of household incomes are $100,000 a year or more. I said household. 1/3. What are y'all talking about? Better you said, imagine if the grapevine came back and apologized to black men. The devil would be cold as hell. I wish, man, look, I would, look, Donovan got his own little stream. I done lost it. Somebody gave me the name of it. I lost it. I, I, I've watched a couple of whatever, and it was like, meh, right? I wish they would bring back the grapevine on the same type of time they were on before. But the Black Manosphere wasn't, we weren't what we are now. It was not nearly. Oh, they would get ripped apart right now. I would spearhead that every time they even opened their mouth about black men. I would shred them. There were so many horrible takes on the grapevine. I'm so disappointed they took their channel down because I would have went back and be like, hey, we gonna every week I would do a flashback of what all the crazy stuff that the grapevine used to say, right? 10 years ago, 9 years ago, 8 years ago. right? All type of and nobody could man. Uchechi was just horrible, and it killed me that nobody could say why. You're looking at Uchechi, you could see why she got an issue with black men, and we can't say it, right? You look at her. Every chance she got, she threw black men under the bus, and we all know why, and you can't say it. And she shot the black immigrants talking about black men. Talk that crap about the Nigerians. We all could look at her and see why, and nobody could say it. Bobo, who is a later cast member from South Africa, talking crap about black men. Let me sound like Larry June real quick. Yitch, you're not even American. You're a recent immigrant. And I'm saying that as a child of immigrants. And for those of you that don't know why I have this energy, especially concerning Bobo, y'all give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves. And we're back. We're back, y'all. So, deviating from the topic for a second, that was my lady calling me, um, asking me about OnlyFans because, yeah, having a conversation with her mom, and yeah, kids out here asking teachers if they got OnlyFans. No, you just know that. Just yeah, what? Third graders. Anyway, yeah, I gotta do another stream about social media and its effect on all of us, especially the kids. I haven't done it in a while. I think I have to do another stream about that coming coming to a Z channel near you. Another stream about that, right? You'll be all right, John Jones. You'll be all right. Trust me, we all go through it, and that's another part of growing up, right? Hey, trust it. Their moms probably all have OF. I hope not. Talk about psychologically, a man. It's a. I don't even have children, and I could just see the way it should be done and the way you're supposed to navigate it. Shout out to Armio Say Frimpong, right? he has some really good takes on these things, right? But yeah, it's just a different world, yeah. It's yeah. But back to the topic at hand. Um, there's a cost to your negative liberty. To sum it all up, on the other side of that equal sign, it's a myriad of things. There's homelessness, possibly. There is struggle. It's funny they say no struggle love. What are you talking about, right? And that's what I was saying earlier. Black people talking about no struggle love. Black women talking about no struggle love. Oh yeah, I was speaking about Bobo and why I had an issue with her. Um, one video they were speaking about Stephon Clark and some of the things him and his Asian baby mama were getting into and what they were saying on social media. And everybody was giving their take. And I was actually surprised about Sharin's take, right? Sharin's take was very practical. Believe it or not, I know for those of us that know who Sharin is, for those of you that don't know who Sharin is, Sharin was the one that went off on Bruno Mars and it pretty much called him a culture vulture, et cetera, et cetera. She's still around. She still has her channel. Um, but Sharin had a very practical take. Look, even if I disagree with the framing, look, black women might have to put in more work than black men. So what? For this, for the advancement of black people, it's about the black body. Nobody said it was going to be fair. Nobody was going to say it was going to be equal. And yeah, sometimes black people are going to say reckless things, and we still gotta advocate for them. Um, so I did not appreciate her framing so much, but the practicality and the black pill of it all. Hey, all right, I could. What they said, pause, shoot a meat and spit out the bone. I could. Okay. Um, but Bobo's take, and if I recall correctly, Soren's take was after Bobo's, so she was low key G checking her. Um, but Bobo's take was like, yeah, screw him. If that's how they talk about it, screw them. If that's how they talk and all the and I'm paraphrasing again, all the colorism talk and all the preference talk, and screw them. And yeah, and of course, but first of all, recent immigrant to America. Secondly, yeah, that sounds nice, but there's a cost to that for black women, right? And yeah, right. Chelsea, when I was a kid, the worst was walking in on your mom getting her back blown. Now kids just have to see it on their phones. Hysterical. I got a couple of homeboys from college and high school that spoke about walking in on their parents. Yeah. One of them said he got his ass beat. Right. At least it was your own dad or your stepdad. It's someone your mom is with for real, for real. It ain't quote unquote Uncle Charlie, right? And it's definitely not some random dude, right? Or you're not peeping in through the crack of the door and you hear some dude on a mic saying, yeah, yeah, take that off. Yeah, play with yourself. Right? Oh man. Yeah, me neither, Oliver. Ugh. Blech, blech. Growing up, I never hear nothing. I never seen anything. Thank God. Right? Oh man. But so that was the reason why I had that take on Bobo when I brought her up earlier, in the grapevine. But closing out, look, I think we might see more. Well, not even think. The reports are showing it, right? The data is we have articles about this. More and more homeless black women, right? Black women's eviction rate, right? So, and that's why I brought up accountable commentary earlier. Y'all think those women have men at home? Both of them got arrested. You think those women have men at home? Look at their attitudes. Huh? Maybe, just maybe, if y'all had men at home, you wouldn't be stealing from Walmart. Just maybe. Better you said, Miss Harris, how much is your OnlyFans? Hysterical. Right? Hey, Oliver said these new kids are going to be messed up in the head. Oliver, I'm a mid-30-year-old millennial. They're already messed up. We're messed up. So you're trying to tell me the kids that's 15 and 10 and 12 and 7 now, yeah, they're going to be gone. Because you imagine your 14-year-old listens to Madison Brown speak about swirlification, Amanda Marianne, but she also listens to Chrissy and Yanni in Paris. You imagine? Fine, not your 13 and 14-year-old, but your 17 and 18-year-old, your 20-year-old, your 22-year-old. Huh? Because as much nuance and softer language and softer framing, the way they frame it is a bit softer. Because notice, like, yeah, you have those channels that have a couple hundred subscribers that sound even crazier than Cynthia G. Yes, it's possible, right? And you have the Cynthia G's, and then you come just a smidge down, and then you have the Chrissy's and the Paris, and then you come a smidge down, and then you have the Yannies. You have the Shira Sevens, you have the Princellas, etc., etc. But the even softer way of saying it is Madison Brown with the swirlification video. It is Amanda Marianne. Even with Madison Brown in that, how long was that disclaimer that she put at the end? Don't go chasing after white men, it's already too late. It's fascinating listening to these women spend 20 some odd minutes, 20 minutes speaking about how horrible black men are, and the colorism and the sexism and they're not loyal and they don't appreciate, and then spend 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes at the inside. But don't worship that don't altar of white men. Don't chase after white men. Too late. Right? So at the end, it's still coming down to this same thing. And I'm saying that to say, around my age, they're already messed up in the head. And so the messed up, because think about it. Boomer black women raised the millennials. Right? Xer black women raised the Gen Zs. Look at the kids. And the oldest of Gen Z already having kids. 26 years old, 25 years old, 24, right? Some of them are already having children, obviously, right? The alphas are the millennial children. The children of millennials are the alphas, right? So if Ebony K. Williams did have a kid, if let's say Ebony K. Williams had a kid when she was 32, 33, her kid would be an alpha right now. Generation Alpha. You imagine? I don't know. I don't know. Right? Lisa Ray, Vivica Fox. Well, Vivica Fox doesn't have any children, but yeah, that's your Generation X right there that had kids. Their kids are Gen Z. Ah, yeah, I don't know. Melissa Ford. You imagine Melissa Ford with a daughter? Superhead, goddamn. Ooh. You want to talk about somebody that's thrown off? Huh? That's Gen X right there. Superhead. Huh? Superhead is your mom? And don't Superhead got a son? Huh? I don't know. Lithium said mostly Latinos right now being young ass parents. Yeah, that's a fact. That's true. Right? Compassion said, just imagine being Superhead's son. I'm saying, right? I can't say Cat Stacks. Cat Stacks is a millennial. Plus, she's not in the country no more. Right? But you imagine Melissa Ford is your mom. Superhead is your mom. Right? Ah, I don't know. Right? Ugh. Yeah. Well, Trina pretty much aged out the game. She don't have no kids. Right? Little Kim has one. Right? If I'm not mistaken, Little Kim has what, a daughter? Did Foxy ever have kids? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Ain't looking good. Claudia Jordan, no children. Vivica Fox, no children. Ugh. Not Gina Jameson. Yes, I seen the son. I seen the son. We ain't even gonna talk about the mannerisms. I'm gonna let that one go. But you being shamed by your own son for thirst trapping. Toya said Foxy doesn't have children. Should have held on to Jay-Z for dear life. Should have fought Beyonce in the middle of the streets. Right? Just saying. Ugh. And the brat over here the brat over here having a mixed kid with no white peen in the picture. What the hell? Oh, Mary J don't have no kids neither. Well, I thought Mary J had kids. I always thought Mary J. Blige had kids. Mary J don't have no kids. Oh, what's the? Oh man, look, I don't even know. You gotta adopt at least then. I mean, what? I do think there's a certain life. There's a nice life you can live. You can have your nice things. You know what? We do live in a different society now, so hey, okay, she was a stepmom. Okay. Is Pinky a mom? That's a good question. And made what's her name a mom twice. What's her name? Black China. Shout out to Tiger and to the Kardashian son. What were y'all on? Right? I never found her attractive at all whatsoever. Not at all. Not at nope. 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 Cat I mean not Cat Stacks. What's her face? Um I just said it. Black China. Jesus hell no. Cicely Tyson never had kids? What? Wow. Why did I never knew that. All those movies. All of those movies. Been acting since been acting. Yeah, Tyra Banks has kids from the white dude. Yeah, Tyra Banks has kids. Leon said, "Z, go get some rest for real. I do gotta exit. I do gotta exit. Right? Oh, okay. And Toya said, actually, I lied. See, Foxy had a daughter in 2020, according to Essence. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. As these people, the people that we see is stripper rappers and whatever, as their kids come of age, it's gonna be interesting to see what the Kardashian kids have to say. Like we already see how Wiz Khalifa and Amber Rose sons sound. Yeah. Shout out to Wiz Khalifa. I ain't trying to get an ankle to the temple player, but yeah. And yeah, Amber Rose your mama, and of course you say the things you say the way you say it because well, Amber Rose is your mama. So yeah. Oh, it was a surrogate. Okay. Charles Irby says, and so I'm gonna end that after this. I gotta make this comment, but I gotta take this jab because I found her attractive, and then when I finally seen the husband, I was like, anyway. And Charles says, Tyra Banks got with a short, dusty white dude. They really have no standards for white guys. So when I finally saw who Cheska Lee's husband was, I was like, if you don't get your look, Cheska Lee, I thought she was a baddie, especially with the dreads. I was like, God, I was like, this sister is cute. This is a very attractive. And when I finally seen the white husband, the white ex-husband at this point, I'm like, you, if you, hey, and that's why I get where I make fun of black women because they take it too far. But I ain't saying y'all ain't supposed to feel a certain way if y'all find a brother attractive and y'all find out he with a non-black woman. I ain't never say that. What I'm saying is where y'all take it and how y'all talk to everyday brothers because of it is a whole different story. Right? But yeah. Right? Yeah. And Trail says Northwest sounds like she hates that Kim thoughts. Yeah. So I never listened to it, right? And Toya says I cringed that they had a podcast together. Cheska Lee and the ex-husband. Yeah, I never listened to it. Right? So yeah. And they end up getting divorced and he ended up taking some money on the way out. And the rumor has it now she with a white woman. Shout out to Aisha Taylor. Right. So on that note, everyone, we'll pause right there. Truly, Chakra, you getting in right when I'm closing the door. Right. But yeah. So, oh wait a minute. Wait, Toya, wait a minute. Did I just say I found Cheska Lee attractive? But Cheska Lee ain't light skinned though. Well, there you go with the colorism. Yeah, look at that. Compassionate said Kim gonna disown North if she keep playing hysterical, right? Didn't she say she would much rather be around Kanye anyway? Right? Everybody keep on talking about Kanye's thrown off. Well, his oldest daughter would rather be around him than the not thrown off Kim Kardashian. What'd that tell you? Oops. Right? Right? Uh-huh. Shout out to and they're not even black. Shout out to what's her name off of 5150? She told you she would much have rather have been with her father than her mother. Darlene Ortiz, right? Yeah, yep. And Oliver says North's gonna ride for her daddy. You can already tell. Yeah, you can. Yes, you can. I think we're gonna see a lot. I think we're gonna see a lot of that. I I think you're going to see. I think black women are playing a very dangerous game with their reputation because they think their daughter's gonna ride with them. I don't know. I don't know. Some of y'all, and the way y'all act and the way y'all speak, that white worship. And if you don't believe me, go check all of the Hapa sons. All those Asian and white mixed Asian dudes. A lot of them be snitching out they Asian mom and her white worship. I'm telling y'all this because I read their comments both on YouTube and on Reddit and all different forums. The Hapa daughters don't be talking because they benefit from that. The Hapa sons, on the other hand, all right, black women. I'm just saying, right? Huh? We'll see. Crystal and Karazin, we'll see. Oops. Huh? Princella, as your daughter gets older, we'll see. Cynthia G, we'll see. Huh? Okay. Your kid get on their own, they can afford to sustain themselves financially. Let's see. I'm not saying it will happen. We'll see though. Go ask Alice Walker. Oops. Huh? Just because you hate black men don't mean your daughters and your sons will. And on that note, everyone, we will pause right there. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Right? Y'all have a great, great rest of your night. Go check out other Black Manosphere content. Um, we went way off the topic because of course it's Mr. Z's channel. But I don't actually want to see this young lady homeless, especially if she's not a complete and total a-hole. Like I said, we don't know what's really going on here. I used her situation to have a larger conversation about why some black women are going to find themselves in this position, and what's the cost of your concepts of negative liberty and screw black men and middle finger up to black men and no struggle love. Well, there's a cost to that, right? And on the other side of equal sign is, well, the actual struggle with no love. Now imagine that. Exactly. And Chakra says, and we'll end out after this. Chakra says the sons are forced into reality, whereas the daughters get the privilege of delusion. Well, yes, because if you're a Hapa mix white Asian woman, white East Asian woman, right? Yeah, the Asian dudes are chasing after you, and the white dudes are chasing after you. Maybe one or two black men, right? Some of the Latinos, yeah. But if you're an Asian white mixed dude, well, you end up like, I ain't even gonna say his name, but y'all know who I'm talking about, right? Mr. Consummate Gentleman himself, wasn't he? Wait, isn't Daniel Holtzclaw? Isn't he? Huh? You out here sexually assaulting black women while you're engaged to a white woman. I'm just saying. Right. So, yep, it's a whole. I told y'all I got into a conversation with a Asian white dude mix in the comments for one video way back. This got to be 7, 8 years ago, something like that. And yep, he was snitching his mom out. Yep. All right, just saying, huh? Nikki Haley, goddamn, but she's South Asian. Just saying. Let's see how your kids sound as they get of age, especially your son. Apparently, you got a thing for white peen. Goddamn, Z. Huh? Mindy Kaling, you too. Goddamn, Z. All of y'all, when y'all kids come of age, especially them boys, those mixed boys, let's see. Let's see if your mixed sons ain't snitching you out. Stacey Dash, we ain't never hear from your son. Goddamn, Z. What y'all thought? Huh? So, on that note, everyone, y'all have a great, great, great rest of your night. Mr. Z out.